Hi folks, you came to this video because you want to learn how to create a leaderboard in Unity. If this is the type of leaderboard you want to be creating, then this is the right video for you, so be sure to stick around. We will also be creating this UI in the video. I will open another project of mine where I want a leaderboard and don't have yet. Until the project opens, I will link this in the description. You will start by going on their itch.io page and download the Unity package tool. You can donate $5 or just say no thanks. Download the first one if you don't want the demo scene. Take the package and drag it to Unity. Of course, here we want to import everything. If you want to check that it worked, you can see up here Leaderboard Creator, a new tab. Click it, click on My Leaderboards, and we have a leaderboard by default, but we don't want this one. We want our own. This game is called Circular Mayhem. So click on Enter New Leaderboard. Let's name it Circular Mayhem Leaderboard. We need a public key and a secret key. Where do we get those from? On the itch page, run the game. Let's open in Unity. And you have all your leaderboards here. You want a new one, okay? Create a new leaderboard. Let's name it something to remember by Circular Mayhem. And we want here the public key. So click it, click on the public key, it copies to your clipboard, go back to Unity and paste it. Again, you want to do the same with the secret key. Copy it, paste it, then click to add leaderboard. But before you close this, click the save to C# script. It's very vital. Also, most of these steps are presented into their 1-minute video here, so it's way faster. But what I will do is I will show you how to integrate this into your actual project. Let's display a leaderboard right here. So you play it, and then when you die, it will restart it, and your score will be how many seconds you survived. First, create a new script. Let's call this Leaderboard Controller. I like to create another empty object. Let's call this Leaderboard Controller as well. Drop our leaderboard here, reset the position to be at 0, 0, and open the script. I don't think we'll be needing any of this. You will need two namespaces using Text Mesh Pro and using done.main, I think. If I'm not mistaken, we will see. You will need two public lists, both containing Text Mesh Pro objects. Text Mesh Pro objects is a list. We will need the names. Then another list, Text Mesh Pro. This will be the scores. What you will need are two easy methods. So let's create load entries and entry, where we will set the username and the score. Let's put them for now. Username and int score. I have those already, I don't need them anymore. Now, this module that you clicked earlier, this one right here, Leaderboard Creator, will do the following. You created the leaderboard because you will use it right here. So if you write leaderboards, the name of the leaderboard. So we have ours and the demo. Circular Mayhem leaderboard dot load entries, get entries. We will do the following: entries line. Perfect. And right here you can manipulate the entries. And for the first entries, let's say for each string name in names, at first we want the string to be empty. And of course, this is not a string, it's a Text Mesh Pro GUI. Like this. And we say name.text, it's empty. And we'll do the same for the scores. And here's where the magic happens. In the actual list, we want to load the top 10 names, the top 10 scores. This is fairly easy to do. We will need a length, float length, and we will choose the minimum of how many names we have, names that count, or entries that length. If we have less than 10 entries in our database, we will display those names, but if we have more, we will get that length. And now we want to iterate all these names. Let's do our length like this. Simple enough. We'll set names that e that text is entries of e that username, and scores that text is equals to entries that score. Also convert this to string. Entries also includes rank. If you want to display the total rank, maybe you want to display the rank of the current player. Let's say there are 100 players, and you will display the top 10, and you want to see the... Oh, somebody's calling me. Shit, it's the fiance. Yes, I'm preparing food. Of course. Yeah. So, where were we? We have the entries, and we can also access the rank of this entry. But I will do that in my UI, so I don't need it. This is everything you need to load a score. And you will do that on the start menu to have it when the player enters the game, to have the public leaderboard. And you also need an entry. So again, leaderboard .uLeaderboard, and add, of course, that add entry, get, delete, upload new entry. And here you have the username, the score, and a callback. On this one we want to load entries again. It's not empty. We will put is successful, and it's not how you write successful. And you can check if is successful, then load your entries. And this is everything you need. You have to call this at entry where you take the score in the end. In my case, I am not exactly sure because I haven't opened this project in a while, but I think it's right here. We want to, when the player dies and you make a new high score, we want to save that to the leaderboard. And for that we need some access to the leaderboard, so we will write private leaderboard controller leaderboard. We will get it in the start function equals find object O of type leaderboard controller, and in leaderboard right here leaderboard dot set entry username. We will put empty string for now, and what else? The timer. Let's round it up. Let's put exactly this one here, and this will be our score. For later purposes, I will send here player prefs that get string, and let's say username, because we will send the current username to leaderboard and save it. And this is everything you have to do actually. You don't need more code. Now, if you want to stay longer to see how we do the UI, you're very welcome, because we will do that next so we can see this leaderboard. Obviously, we want the leaderboard to be displayed here, so let's create a quick sketch. We will have the title up here. Let's put the leaderboard on the right side. Let's color it with red or brown to see that this is the leaderboard. We will put a play button in the middle. This is play. Obviously, this is the title. We will keep the tutorial text here, volume controller here. And on the left side we will create a field input for the player to type his name. So we will say please type your name, input, current name and current high score. And now we have enough place. Now let's follow this lead and create the canvas, and the play button will be moved in the middle. Let's move it nicer here. And we'll create an empty object calling Leaderboard UI. Let's place it here. This one will include a panel. Let's just leave it panel and make it a bit bigger. Or let's display the top 5 people because we don't have enough place. Let's copy the title, put it here, make it smaller, write Leaderboard, make it way smaller. Maybe also give the panel a new look. Let's choose this yellow. It's okay. Let's make it just a bit darker. Of course. And the title here. Inside the panel we want rank and names. Let's just write headers. What we actually have here. Let's copy this again. And this will be rank text. Rank. We will make this black or white. This works. Let's make this again slightly smaller. And let's make it fit. Perfect. We will need another names. Names text. Let's also name it here names. And everything is bold. Now I notice. And we'll need a score text. Drag it to the right. And write scores. They are a bit too big, so let's make them all slightly smaller. Nice, nice, nice. And the scores will be here. Now we will need the ranks, which will be here. This will be a vertical layout group that will include text. Let's copy this and put it here. So ranks, we have some spacing, we have some left and top. This will be 1. And then 2. Let's copy the ranks, bring it over here and call it names. Bigger. And for this we will delete them and work on one. Let's give it a long name, Jeff. And because we don't want it, we'll click out the size. Minimum size will be 6. And max size will be 12, or minimum size can be 4. Perfectly, we can even make it bigger, 15 or 16. Yeah, it works. Then this is name text. Let's make 5 of those. We have 5 Jeffs, and we also need scores. And the scores will be placed right here. Let's give them all a score of 0 to see how it looks, and it looks quite okay. Nice, I like this. Why did we do this? Because now in our leaderboard controller we will save this and name our top 5 names and drag them on our lists. Now when we hit play we will see a leaderboard, but we don't have any data on our leaderboard and we want to get some. That's why on our left side we will work on some input controllers. And player input, Where are you input field? Let's just leave it input. Enter a name. Okay, it takes a placeholder. Enter text. Enter a nickname. 3 dots. Let's also choose a font to look way cooler. And we will need a small text. We'll put it here. Let's drag it nicely. And say player name. Let it shows. Let's say player name. Player nickname. They are too close to each other. So let's bring everything a bit apart. So the text is good. This will come closer. You will go lower. And the high score goes lower. And we will align you with... let's all align left. Not in the middle. They will be surely aligned now. And the player name, we will also create another one. It's current name. And make it a child of this one to move them together. This will also have auto size, and maximal will be 25. That's still too big. 20. And minimum 8. Yes, that is okay. Because we have a Jeff, and it's slightly bigger than I wanted. Because the maximum is too big. 15. 15 works. This one is 10. This is a 15. It's okay. And we'll make it here. So now, the player will type his name, save it, and when you play, you will have your name in the leaderboard. We need a button to save the name. We go here next to the input, create UI, and where's the button? Submit button. Let's move it here. Does it work? I think it works. But we also need input controller to save this name for the logic for this. So let's create a new C# script. Let's call it input controller. I will make another empty object, input controller, to work clean and safe. We'll put an input controller on top, and let's eliminate this. We want to use Text Mesh Pro again. We'll be using Unity engine.ui as well. What we will need the public button, submit button, to map an action to it. Input field, I guess. Input field. We'll also need the text. Text Mesh Pro GUI, and this will be the player name. At start, we will check if the player created, it's the first time he plays, so we check if it has key username. If it hasn't a key, we will save it. Player prefs set string something random, but I don't want to use, we will use here, I don't want to use empty strings, so let's try something fun. Let's create private string array random names to be assigned in the beginning of the game. And let's create some random names. Let's say Jeff, Blob. Okay, let's see Blob. Let's say Ronaldo, Chris, Anglia works, Arthur. Let's see a few more random names. The player has no username at first. We will assign a random name. So we'll say random names, and from these ones we will take random that range from 0 to the, not this one, to the length, random that length. and it will have a random name at start of the game. Also, on the submit button click, we want to take the text the user put in the input field and save it to this player prefs. So we will need a private void method save name that we will call when we click the button. Many of you might use it like this, creating it a public method and using it from outside of Visual Studio. But for the sake of this video, to keep it all simple and clean, we will use it as an event. How? We'll take the submit button, and in the start of the game, we will add an on click, a listener that will call this function when clicked. We don't need any parameters. We'll just call this method like this. Simple. No outside work from Visual Studio. So we'll check if input field that text is not empty, and we earlier said to check the length, and input field that length or that text that length is shorter than 17 characters, then we will save it. Player prefs that set string username input field that text. Now, after saving it, we will delete the input field text, and also if it's empty, let's also display an error. Let's just say error. Maybe then he saves his name into error. We have the name, and we also want to display the name on the screen. So we'll take player name, not this, that text equals, let's make it clean and say player prefs that gets string to see if it actually works. Username. Perfect. And now you can see that in our game controller, when we call the set entry from Leaderboard, we get the username from the player prefs method. Let's type here. Let's copy this line of code and put it here. Amazing. And we have Jeff again. Let's play as Jeff, and let's try to make a score less than 6. So let's die now. We have 3. And when the game resets, we should see that Jeff has 3 score. Let's play again and make a higher score than Dwed. We have 3, 4, 5. Dwed had 6. Okay, let's die now. Let's die. Perfect. And Jeff has a score of 10 and is number 1 on our leaderboard. Awesome. To check this again, you can come to your itch page where you downloaded this from, check the leaderboard and click manage. Here you can see all the leaderboards you want. Let's say that Dwed had actually a higher score than Jeff. We can edit it. This is not fair for Jeff, but who cares about Jeff? Let's see, do we run it? Do we have the new high score? I haven't tested this. Actually worked. There you have it. This is how you take the input of a player and display it on the leaderboard. I'm sorry that this video was slightly longer than expected, but I'm very thankful to those who stayed until the end. What is this, you asked? This is just my new Steam game. It's no demo yet, it's just a Steam page, but be sure to check it out.